Hi everyone, we are Group 7 and we will be discussing the topic grading and reporting. But first, let's talk about the learning objectives.
At the end of the lesson, students are expected to
Understand the nature, purpose, rationale for assigning grades, develop empathy and understanding when discussing grades and progress with students and parents, demonstrate the ability to effectively assign grades using various grading systems and methods. Grading and reporting are the methods used to measure a student's learning progress and to determine how well they have met the learning objectives. So here are the definition of grading and reporting. So when we say grading, it is used to evaluate and provide feedback on student work. In this way, instructors communicate to students how they are performing in the course and where they need more help to achieve the course's goals. So, grades serve as a form of communication indicating to students how well they have met the expectations and learning outcomes of the course. They provide a summary of a student's overall performance and can be used to track progress throughout the semester. Additionally, grades can be help students identify areas where they may need additional help or improvement, allowing them to focus their efforts on specific aspects of their learning. Instructors also provide feedback along with grades to offer more detailed information about a student's strengths and areas for improvement. Feedback can be written or verbal and may include comments, suggestions, and constructive criticism. It aims to guide students in understanding their performance, identifying areas of growth, and providing suggestions for further development. On the other hand, when we say reporting, this refers to the communication of students' performance and progress to various stakeholders, including students, parents, teachers, and administrators. Reporting commonly includes reports cards, parents-teachers conferences, progress reports, and other form of communication. Reporting is the process of communicating the results of assessment to students, parents, and other stakeholders. It involves the dissemination of assessment results, grades, feedback, and other relevant information to inform stakeholders about students' academic achievements, strengths, areas for improvement, and overall development. Reporting plays a crucial role in fostering collaboration between educators and parents, supporting students' learning and ensuring transparency in the educational process. This is usually done through report cards or progress reports, which not only include grades but also comments about students' behavior, attendance, and other aspects. So, it is important to note that effective grading and reporting should provide meaningful feedback to students and parents, guide instructional decisions, and, of course, motivate students to learn. Nature, purpose, and rationale for assigning grades. So, nature for assigning grades. Grades are the teacher's judgment on the performance of students based on certain criteria. Aside from grading students' performance, teachers have to inform the students and parents of the students' academic progress in the various learning areas in the curriculum. So the grades are a reflection of a teacher's assessment and judgment of students' performance based on specific criteria. Teachers evaluate students' work such as assignments, exams, project, and class participations against predetermined standards and expectations. So this evaluation helps teachers determine the level of understanding and mastery of the subject matter demonstrated by each student. Grades provide a quantitative or qualitative measure that represents the teacher's assessment of a student's performance in relation to the course requirements. So, what is the purpose for assigning grades? So, the purpose of assigning grades is to assess and evaluate a student's performance and understanding of the subject matter. Grades also serve as a way to compare and rank students, which can be useful for college admissions or scholarship opportunities. So grades serve as a measure of achievement, helping students understand their academic standing and areas for growth. Additionally, grades can be used as a comparative tool to rank and compare students. In some educational systems, grades are used to differentiate students based on their academic performance. This ranking can have implications for college admissions or scholarship opportunities, as institutions may consider grades as a part of their selection criteria. Grades serve as a way to assess students' readiness for higher education or other academic pursuits and can be used as a factor in decision-making processes. While comparing and ranking students based on grades can have its benefits in certain contexts, it is important to recognize that grades should not be the sole determinant of a student's worth or potential. Each student is unique, and their abilities and potential extend beyond a simple letter or number grade. It is essential to consider other aspects of a student's holistic development, such as their interests, skills, character, and personal growth when making educational decisions. Rationale for assigning grades. So, one of the primary goals of a proficiency-based grading system is to produce grades that more accurately reflect a student's learning progress and achievement, including situations in which students struggled early on a semester or school year, but then put in the effort and hard work needed to meet expected standards. So, in traditional grading system, early struggles or low scores can significantly impact a student's overall grade, potentially overshadowing their later improvements and efforts. This can result in grades that do not fully represent the student's current understanding or capabilities. For example, a student who struggles at the beginning of a course but who later grasps the material well and demonstrates a high level of proficiency might still end up with a lower overall grade due to poor early performance. This rationale for assigning grades is rooted in the belief that grades should more accurately reflect what students has learned and able to do. It supports a more personalized and equitable approach to education, acknowledging improvement and effort, and encouraging students to focus on learning and growth. By doing so, it aims to provide a clearer picture of a student's achievement and readiness for future academic challenges or opportunities. So, there are types of grading system. But first, let's define what is grading system. So, grading system is the system that a school has developed to guide how teachers assess and grade student work. So, the purpose of grading system is to give feedback to students so they can take charge of their learning and to provide information to all who support these students, teachers, special educators, parents, and others. So, a grading system is a framework or guideline that educational institutions like school or university uses to evaluate the academic performance of its students. It's a method to quantify students' understanding and mastery of the course material. Grades serve as a form of feedback to students how well a student has understood the course material and achieved the learning objectives. For example, a high grade indicates a high level of understanding, while a low grade suggests that the students may need to put in more effort or seek additional help. This feedback is crucial because it helps students identify their strengths and weaknesses and guides them on what areas they need to focus on for improvement. Grades also provide important information to other stakeholders in the education process. For teachers, grades can help them understand how effective their teaching methods are and if any adjustment need to be made. For parents and guardians, grades offer insight into their child's academic performance and progress. So overall, a grading system is a tool that helps measures and communicate a students' academic performance, providing valuable feedback and information to students and all those involved in education. So the first type of grading system is the letter grade. So letter grades is a system of evaluating and communicating students' academic performance using letters of the alphabet. This system is widely used in educational institutions to represent the quality of work a student has demonstrated in a course, assignment, or examination. So, a letter grade is a symbolic representation of a student's academic performance in a course or subject. It is a common method used in education to communicate a student's level of achievement based on their performance relative to predetermined standards. So, instead of number, they use letter to represent a range of grades. So, for example, A could be used to represent grades of 90% and above, B to represent grades 80% and above, C to represent grades 70% and above, and so on. Alternatively, you could have pass for grades above 50% and fail for grades below 50%. So in other school, they only use the letter A, B, C, D and does not include letters with positive and negative sign. So the letter F stands for failed. In other institutions, they add letter I to state that a student has an incomplete requirement.
So, let's talk about percentage grades. So, what is percentage grades? Percentage grades are a method of assessing students' academic performance by quantifying their achievements in numerical form expressed as a percentage. Percentage grades are essential for teachers as they help them assess students' performance, track their progress, and provide feedback on their work. Teachers use these grades to evaluate understanding, identifying areas for improvement, and communicate students' achievements to parents and school administrators. It's a valuable tool to teachers to support students in their learning journey. So, typically, the percentage grades typically range from 0% to 100%. These grades help assess your performance and progress in specialized training or learning for a specific profession or career. So, below an example for percentage grades. So, 90 to 100% is equivalent to A, which means passed, from the previous topic, which is the letter grade, or we tackled on the previous topic. So 80 to 89% is equivalent to B, 70 to 79% is equivalent to C, and 60 to 69% is D. Below 60% is equivalent to A, or we know that below 60% we consider as failed. So, this grading system found to be most commonly used, and however, there are some schools that use an edited version of grading system, or especially to percentage grades, especially to college system. Instead of using percentage grades, they convert or uses a scale that goes up to 5.0 or goes down to 5.0. Example for that is 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about average grades. So what is average grades? Average grades refers to the method of calculating a student's overall grade by taking the mean of multiple individual grades or scores across assessments, assignments, tests, project, or course. Average grade is like the overall scores you get based on all your assignments and tests or others combined in that subject. It gives you a general idea of how you're doing in your classes. Teachers use it to see your overall performance and to help you understand your progress throughout the course. And also, the average grade is the weight of the grade in each grading period are equal. For example, final grade is equal to first grading plus second grading plus third grading and plus fourth grading divided by the number of grading, or we can say it 4 divided by 4, or let's say 89 plus 92 plus 94 plus 96 divided by 4, and we can get the average grade of 92.75. Let's have another example below. If a student scored 80% on a test, 90% on an assignment, and 85% on a project, we can get the average grade by taking the mean, or we can say their average grade would be 80 plus 90 plus 85 divided by 3, or we can get the average grade of 85%. So, knowing the average grade in a class is important because it gives you a good sense of how you're doing overall. It helps you see your progress and understand where you stand in comparison to others. This information can guide you on where you might need to focus more or seek additional help to improve your performance. Cumulative rating is an assessment method that involves the ongoing addition of points, scores, or achievements over a period of time to calculate a final grade. So, cumulative rating is like the summation, or they add up all your scores from different assignments and tests to give you a final grade for the course. For example, if a course has a total of 1,000 points distributed across various assessments, and the students earn 850 of those points, their cumulative grade would be calculated as follows. So the formula to get the cumulative grade is cumulative grade equal to the total points earned over the total possible points times 100 to get the percent of the cumulative grade. So 850, or the total points earned, over 1,000, or the total possible points, times 100, we can get the 85% of the cumulative grade. So, this kind of grading system is super helpful because it shows your progress over time and keeps a complete picture of how you're doing in class. This method is commonly used to assess your overall performance and help you understand your academic standing throughout the term. Also, teachers find it beneficial because it allows them to assess students' work over time, giving a more in-depth view of their academic development. It's like a detailed report card that shows the full story of a student's effort and achievements throughout the course or term. Let's talk about verbal descriptors. Verbal descriptors are qualitative assessments used to provide feedback on a student's performance, understanding, and skills in a specific subject or learning activity. This is a statement that represents something in words, or verbal descriptors consist of characteristics of performance at each grade. It is also intended to help teachers explain the academic requirements Well, written grade descriptors are an essential tool in helping students to understand the marks that they have been awarded and why they have been awarded them. So, example, instead of using letter grades, teachers may provide verbal descriptors to describe a student's performance, such as, so as you can see on example, we already saw this kind of grading system, especially to junior high school and senior high school on our report cards. So, below are the descriptors, or the outstanding to did not meet the expectation, the grading scale, and the remarks. So, outstanding is for the 90 to 100, or we consider as passed, whereas this satisfactory, and fairly satisfactory to 75 to 79 we consider as passed. Did not meet the expectation, below, or we consider is below 75, or we consider as failed. But some of the school below 75 is they consider as also passed. So, checklist. When we talk about checklists are used to assess specific criteria or skills and provide feedback based on a list of items to be checked off. A checklist in a grading system is like a list of criteria or tasks that need to be completed or assessed. It helps to ensure that all necessary components are evaluated or completed before assigning a final grade. It's like a guide that the instructor used to make sure they consider all the important aspects of your work before giving you a grade. In education, teachers may use checklists to assess students' skills in various areas such as presentation, writing, or practical tasks. For example, a teacher may use a checklist to assess students' presentation skills, checking off items like clarity of speech, organization of content, use of visual aids, and the engagement or the audience engagement. So, the checklist helps the instructors evaluate your work truly and fairly by considering all the specific requirements or criteria outlined for the assignment or assessment. Narrative reports. So, narrative reports are detailed reports that describe a student's progress, strengths, areas for improvement, and overall performance. So, narrative reports in the grading system are like detailed stories or description of your performance in a class. They provide a more personalized and depth view of your progress, highlighting your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement in a more narrative form rather than just using grades or numbers. It's like getting a personalized feedback that tells a story of your academic journey and performance in a class. For example, a narrative report may include written feedback on a student's academic achievements, behavior, his participation, and areas needing development, providing a comprehensive overview of the student's performance. So, these reports are typically used in educational settings to communicate a holistic assessment of a student's academic and personal development. Overall, narrative reports play a crucial role in providing feedback, fostering communication between stakeholders, and supporting the growth and development of the students in educational settings. Reporting to parents. In education involves the communication of students' academic progress, achievements, and areas for improvement to their parents or guardians. So, reporting to parents in education is all about keeping parents in the loop about how students are doing in school. It includes sharing both the good stuff like academic progress and achievements, and the areas where students can improve. It's a way to make sure everyone is on the same page and working together to support the students' learning journey. It's like a team effort between the school, the students, and the parents. So, reporting to parents typically includes the following components. First is report cards. Report cards are formal documents that summarize the student's grade, performance, and behavior in each subject or course. They often include grades for assignments, tests, participation, and behavior, providing comprehensive overview of the student's academic standing. So, report cards are likely a summary of how you're doing in school. They show your grades for different subjects and sometimes includes comments from your teachers about your progress. It's a way for your parents to see how you're doing and celebrate your success to or help you to improve in areas where you might need some extra support. So, we already know how report cards work because we already have an experience or we are already received some report cards during our elementary or high school, especially then to senior high school. That report cards indicate our summary of our grades or our performance. So the second is parent-teachers conference. Parent-teachers conference are meetings between teachers and parents to discuss a student's progress, academic performance, strengths, challenges, and strategies for improvement. These conferences allow for personalized discussions about the student's learning experience and development. So, parents-teachers conference are like a face-to-face meeting between your parents and your teachers. It's a chance for them to talk about how you're doing in school, your strengths, areas for improvements, and set goals for your learning. It's a great way for everyone to work together to support your education. So for example, for this is during our elementary or high school, they implement periodical meeting to allow teachers express their concerns or their thoughts. So the third one is other communication. Schools may use various methods to communicate with parents, such as emails. Emails sending regular updates, newsletters, and important information about school events and academic progress via email. So email is like sending a digital letter. Schools use it to share important information with parents like upcoming events, school news, and your academic progress. So nowadays, there's a lot of application we can use to communicate to parents like Messenger, Class Dojo, or these apps allows schools to share updates, assignments, and even chat with parents about their child's education. They make it easier for everyone to stay connected and informed. So, the second one is phone calls, providing direct feedback or discussing concerns about the student's performance over the phone. So, phone calls are another way schools communicate with parents. They can provide quick updates, discuss your progress, or address any concerns. It's a more personal way to connect compared to emails or apps because you can have a direct conversation. So the next one is online platforms. Using digital platforms or portals to share grades, assignment, and feedback with parents. So online platforms are another way schools reach out to parents and students. They can provide information, updates, and even online classes. So, some of popular online platforms are commonly that schools use are Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams. These platforms help teachers assign and grade work, communicate with students, and share resources like videos and documents. For the last one is newsletters. Distributing newsletters with school updates, academic tips, and resources for parents to stay informed about their children's education or the child's education. Newsletters are like a digital bulletin that schools use to share important updates, events, and news with parents and students. They help everyone informed about what's happening in school and upcoming events. So we can usually find school newsletters on the school website, email, or sometimes they're sent home in a physical form with students. And also we can find newsletter posted on bulletin boards around the school, or shared on social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram. So that's the end of our report. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Thank you for listening.